good to have this time again to prepare you for this exam. I'm sure you are very, very well prepared for the exam. There is just a short time, so I want to believe that you're wrapping up preparations for the examination. Okay, I'm privileged to teach you mathematics. I count that a real privilege because for me, getting you prepared for mathematics is key. I'm a math teacher and I know how simple this subject is, and that's why I'm here to run through all that I have in terms of preparing you for this exam. My name is Macaulay. Well, we did this some time ago, some 2 years ago. You can check Facebook or YouTube. You find our videos there. I did some videos as well as many other teachers that are on the prep station. And what we do at prep station is to prepare you for these exams. So I'll refer you to those videos as we make progress. Now, like I said, I'll be taking you through mathematics. Now, maths happens to be the simplest subject in the world. Amongst many other subjects, maths is simple because you have examples, unlike many other subjects where you have to just read and read and read. You don't do mathematics without examples. So how do you pass mathematics exam in JAMB? Very simple. Now, I have a few things I got from, I'm going to quote the source. Believe in your abilities, that's number one. Very many people fear mathematics, but there's no big deal about math. It's a very simple subject. So number one, you have to believe in your abilities. You have to know the exam format. How do you prepare for an exam that you don't even know the format? There are 40 questions that you have to answer. So some people go into the exam not even knowing what format do they really have. So you're prepared for 40 questions as you write this exam. Now you prepare early. Well, we're just very close to the exam. The exam is going to be written this month. But we still have time. If you've not gone very far in your preparation, there is still time. You can still meet up. Now get the JAMB Mathematics syllabus. Now the syllabus is a guide. Without the syllabus, well, you don't know how to prepare for the exam. So JAMB website is just down here. You can look very closely, www.jamb.gov.ng. You will find the syllabus. Please go to that website and find the syllabus that you need to prepare for the exam. Buy JAMB past questions. Never too late to invest in past questions. Buy JAMB past questions. Set a high target score. Somebody said, if you want to get out of the earth, you aim for the sun. If you miss the sun, at least you get the moon. But if you aim for the moon and you miss the moon, you're back to earth. So aim high. Set a high target score. Study consistently. Test your performance. Mathematics is all about testing your performance. It's not about listening or watching the video. I'm sure you have your pens, you have your books. You also try to practice these things I'm teaching you. Now ask for assistance. I'm here giving you the assistance. You can also get assistance from other people, from your friends, from your teachers. Use JAMB textbooks. If you check the website I put it there, you will find the recommended textbooks for your JAMB preparation. Then join JAMB CBT Tutorials. Of course, you know that JAMB exam is CBT. So join JAMB CBT Tutorials. Manage your time. You have just a short time to solve 40 questions. So you need to know how to manage the time. Learn shortcuts. Now, JAMB is objective. It is no theory. So nobody cares about how you got your answers. So you learn shortcuts. There are shortcuts. No one cares about your steps. So as much as possible, if you have knowledge of these shortcuts, it will help you manage your time. Avoid distractions. And I must say this, which I've not written here. I must say also that JAMB is objective. So try as much as possible to answer all the questions, whether or not you know the correct answer. Who knows? Maybe the option you have picked is the right option. Now, I got this from studentsheet.com.ng. Now, let's go straight into the syllabus. Now, what do we have? I have got everything on the syllabus. I have the syllabus on my screen. Now, the syllabus is divided into 5 sections. We have number and numeration. We have algebra, geometry and trigonometry, calculus, and statistics. Just 5 sections. Now, under the 5 sections, now there are different topics under the 5 sections. For number and numeration, we have number basis. Of course, that reminds you, takes you back to SS1, number basis, fractions, decimals, approximations and percentages, indices, logarithms and sorts, sets. Under algebra, we have polynomials, variation, inequalities, progression, that's AP and GP. We have binary operations, matrices, and determinants. For geometry and trigonometry, we have Euclidean geometry, mensuration, loci, coordinate geometry, and trigonometry. While on the calculus, we have differentiation, application of differentiation, and integration. And last of all, statistics. For statistics, we have representation of data, measures of location, measures of dispersion, permutation and combination, and last of all, we have probability. I'm sure you are set as I take you through this journey. Make sure you have your pens, you have your writing pad, maybe a jotter or a notebook, and let's go. Now we're looking at numbers and numeration, where it's okay to start from the simplest. Of course, it is very, very key that you start from simple to complex activities. So we're going to go from the scratch, taking you back to SS1, numbers and numeration. Now I'm going to solve some questions. Unlike the last time when I taught you under this platform, I taught you some topics before we solved questions. But because of the shortness of time, I'm going to put questions on the board, and while solving the questions, I'll teach you how to answer questions like that. So there may not be enough time for me to teach you the topic, deeply before answering the question. So I'll be teaching you while solving the question. So we have a question from 2020. Now what I've tried to do is to get questions from recent years. I'll be giving you questions from 2020, 2021, and 2022. They are more recent years. I think that's better for you. Now we're picking a question from 2020, question number 1. That's the first question there. It says, evaluate 212 base 3 minus 121 base 3 plus 222 base 3. So we have all the options here. I'm going to solve these questions on the board. Follow through as we make progress. Now, at any point, you may decide to pause the video. You have the chance to also rewind. You can pause the video. You can fast forward the video. It's not a live. It's not a live class, so you can always do that. You have the luxury of that. Now let's go. We have evaluate 212 base 3 minus 121 base 3 plus 222 base 3. Now this is a very simple number-based question. 212 base 3 minus 121 base 3 plus 222 base 3. Now, of course, that brings you to this guy, BODMAS. Now, you can do both of them first, or if you choose to do the addition before you do the subtraction, it's still okay. Now, let's do it like this. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, base 3. We subtract. So, now let me take you to your normal arithmetic. If you have 17 minus, let's say you have 37 minus 29. Now, normally your counting numbers are in base 10. So let's do just this simple mathematics. Okay, we know that 7 is less than 9. So what do? We take 1 from this 3 and the 3 becomes 2. We take 1 here, it becomes 17. So we can say 17 minus 9, and that is 8. Now, how did this become 17? We took 1 and the 1 actually became 10. Why? Because we're working with base 10. So every one you carry has the same value as the base. So this is base 10. That's why the 1 added to 7 doesn't make it 8, it makes it 17, because it's like 10 carrying 10, 10 plus 7 becomes 17 minus 9, which is 8. Remember, we're left with 2 here. 2 minus 2 is 0. So the answer here is 8. Now, we're going to follow the same process, but take note of the fact that this is in base 3. So this is 2 minus 1. That's simple. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, this is where we apply what I just taught you. 1 minus 2, of course, we know that 1 is less than 2, so we have to take 1 from here. Now, because we're dealing or operating in base 3, that one we're taking is 3. So we're adding 3 to 1, literally, and that gives us 4. So 4 minus 2, we have 2. Remember that we're taking 1 away from here, and this has become 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So this gives us 21 base 3. Remember, we have dealt with these two. We have this one left to deal with. So these two, the result of this is 21 base 3. Then we will add that to 222. So we can wipe that off. We have 2 2 base 3 plus, remember the sign, 21 base 3. When we add that, we have this. 2 plus 1 is 3. Remember, 2 plus 1 is 3. Now let me take you back to what I did earlier. If I have 15 plus 5, look at this. 15 plus 5 is 20. Now if I'm adding this, 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1, remainder 0. And that's why we have the remainder here, and we carry the 1 up here. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then we have this. So the same thing applies here. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, remainder 0. So we have 0. And we take the 1 here. Now this comes here and it becomes 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Because we're dealing with base 3, 5 divided by 3, we have 1, remainder 2. So we have our 2 and we take the 1 up here. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, remainder 0. 0, we take the 1 here and we have 1, 0, 2, 0, base 3. Now that's option C, as you can see. 1, 0, 2, 0, base 3. I hope that is clear. Now you can try your hands on other number-based questions and you see how far you have learned. Now it is important to learn or to note, if you check the syllabus, go through the syllabus very closely, you'll find out that on the number basis, what you're required to know is your normal addition and subtraction of bases from 2 to 10, and then change your base from any base to another base. So with time, we're going to give you so many other questions that relates with change of base. But this is where we stop under number base. Let's have the second question. It says round each number to 2 significant figures. Round each number to 2 significant figures. Let me take you back. Take you back to numbers. Now we have approximation on the numbers. That is what that question is about. It is about approximation. Rounding up numbers. That's what we want to do. So look at the question. Round each number to 2 significant figures and then evaluate this. Now, let me show you something on my board. We're doing rounding up numbers. It is important to note, like I said, this is still basic mathematics. You're counting numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, I believe you understand that all numbers are a combination of 1 or 2 or 3 or any of these numbers. All numbers you can think of in life. You got them from these 10 numbers. Now, so we're going to do something. There are 10 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. If you divide 10 by 2, you're going to have 5. So we have the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to split this. These numbers are rounded down, while these numbers are rounded up. By rounding down, I mean these numbers become 0 when you round down. These ones become 1. Now, for you to have better understanding, let's solve this question. Then you know what I mean by rounding up and rounding down. So let's go. Look at the question. 0.02174 times 1.2047 divided by 0.023789. Now there's a word here that says significant. Significant. Now please note that 0 is not significant, especially if it comes before any other number. But if you have 0 after a number, it becomes significant. Let me explain. I mean, if you have 0.025, this 0 here is not significant. I mean, if I gave you 0 millionaire, it doesn't make any sense. There's nothing like 0 million. Now, but if you have 10, can you see there's still a 0 here? and the 0 is after the 1, this 0 becomes significant. Because 1 and 10 are not the same thing. If you have 1 million naira and you have a chance to get 10 million naira, you wouldn't say, well, 0 is not significant, so let me go with the 1 million. No. 10 is more significant than 1. Why? Because 10 is weightier than 1. So 0 here in 10 is significant compared to this one. 0 in 0.025 is not significant. So let's go to the question proper and solve the question. Now we have 0.02174. The question says we should round each number to 2 significant figures. I picked the first number, 0.02174. I told you these zeros here are not significant. So we go, this will be the first significant figure, the 2 here. The next is 1. Now we are expected to stop at 1. But after 1, I can see a 7. 7, go back up here where I have my array of numbers. 7 falls in the class of numbers that should be rounded up. So I'll round up the 7 to 1 and add the 1 to the previous number, which is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So I have 0.022. I hope that is clear. You can pause the video and rewind. Now let's go back again. Let's look at the next number. Here, the first number here is 1s, and that 1 is significant. And we are expected to round it to 2 significant figures. So I have 1. What is the next number after 1? It's a 2. So that's 1.2. Divided by, here again we have 0, the first number, it's not significant. And then we have another 0. So 0.0, this is the first significant number. And this is another significant number. So it gives us 0.02. I'm expected to stop here, just like we did in the first example. This is 7, which is bigger than 4. It has to be rounded up. It becomes 1, and then it comes here. This is 4. So this is what we have. And it says we should round them up to 2 significant figures and then evaluate. We should what? Evaluate. Now it's very simple. What we want to do now is very simple. I want to teach you something very interesting and very important. Please pay a rapt attention as we make progress. Now, of course, you have your calculator on your laptop, on your system, the system that you're going to use. But then you can do this without a calculator. Now, here we go. If you look at this, you can get a 12 from here, and this looks like something you can get a 24. If you remember your multiplication table, 12 times 2 is 24. So it makes it very easy. So if I move the decimal point one place, look at this, just look at this. If I move the decimal point one place, another place, so we can have 24, I would have moved the decimal point 3 places to get 24. So I can do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3. Whatever you do up, you have to do down to balance. So if we do it that way, we have 22 because we have moved the decimal point 3 places times 1.2 over 24. I hope you understand. We moved 1, 2, 3 places. We did the same thing up here to balance. 1, 2, 3 places. But we still have 1.2. Do not forget that. So 2 can go here 11 times. 2 can go here 12 times. I hope this is clear. How many 2 you find in 22? 11. You find 12 2 in 24. Now this is 1.2 and this is 12. So 12 can go into 1.2 0.1 time. Notice this. 12 can go into 12 1 time. But if it is 1.2, it is 0.1. So 0.1 time. So if we multiply 11 by 0.1, we have 1.1. So the answer to that question is option C, which is 1.1. I hope that is clear. Like I said, you can pause the video at any time and go over what I taught you and have a better understanding of what we have done. Alright, next question. Alright, so I'll take a break at this point. When we come back, we'll solve this question.